What's going on, guys? Bart here with Tully Television. I want to welcome all you again. I hope today is the day we earn that subscription. If so, you hit that red subscribe bar down below, because only together can we go straight to the moon, baby. Today, we're going to be getting into a comic book review. We're going to be getting into Absolute Batman issue 4. Now, I know, again, I have to preface this video by saying I know it's up to like issue 10 or 11 or something like that. But when I can get these issues, that's when we're going to be reviewing them. I also ended up getting issue 8 with this order of issue 4, but I won't be reviewing that until 5, 6, 7 after this is done. This is the particular cover I got here. I'm telling you, some of these covers have been really awesome. And the person who did that cover is Yasmin Putri, Putri, Putri. Again, issue 4 here, part 4 of the Zoo storyline. Scott Snyder and Nick Dragotta collaborating on the script, on the plot, but Scott Snyder is handling the scripts, and Gabriel Hernandez Walta is handling the art. Now, in this particular issue, it takes a little bit of a break from Bruce confronting the party animals, right, and Roman Sialis. And I don't even, I'll have to double check. We'll double check as we go through. I don't even think we get Alfred in this issue. But what we do cover in this particular issue is, even though that this is early in Bruce's career as Batman in the Absolute universe, we're going to go back even a little further when he first started becoming Batman. We're going to cover him actually creating the science experiment that ultimately won him and his class the field trip to the zoo, and probably talk a little bit about how Bruce deals with that particular piece of knowledge. You know what I mean? That if it wasn't for him, where would his life be now, right? But yeah, he seemed to have always an interest in bats, Bruce, as we can tell from this issue. But what we initially open up with is Bruce deciding to speak in court against the shooter who killed his father, who they happen to make Joe Chill in this particular story. And the court's telling him, you didn't have to be here, son, and everything, but we're making a concession for you, being you were there, and everything. And then we go to that. That was just a quick thing to, I guess, hook you in to see what Child Bruce would say for Joe Chill. And then it goes to this gang. That's how Absolute Batman kind of looked earlier on. He made a joke about silicone fangs because I guess he was trying to look like a vampire bat, I guess, right, to instill more fear. This will just go to show you that this is very much him trying to get a handle on how he wants to approach crime as he's doing as the Batman. He uses a little echolocation screech here because that's what bats do. And we see him going against this gang here. And, at some point, probably, because there's always a debate on whether Batman should use guns or not guns. And early Batman used guns for a while, and then he had a hard no gun thing. I think that had a lot to do with probably kids and letting kids know that how dangerous guns are through the comic books and stuff like that. And I appreciate that. But he does use a grappling gun. You know what I mean? He does use other things. But if you're trying to be vigilante, you're trying to stop crime, not be, you know, excuse me, a killer, right? Because then that leads into how am I better than that person? Because I think I'm doing right. They might think they're doing right. And then throughout the issue, we get little scenes like this about Bruce explaining what his project is and the benefit of the design of his thing here. It's it's um it's kind of like that. It's kind of like to try to build a bridge in the shape of a bat because of the way that it will uh, distribute the weight and stuff like that. So that was um, his project idea. I liked this panel here. And then it also just describes Bruce's early life of, um, yeah, we see him throwing away the gun because he's realizing that, that's not what he's wanting to do. We see him trying to get fit. So again, very early on, he's trying to get down his philosophy of what the Batman is supposed to be, getting his body into shape, focusing in on a singular vision of trying to clean up Gotham City because of what happened to him and his class and his family and stuff like that. We got this cool little thing where Bruce is uh, controlling an RC car in the shape of the Batmobile to get to this truck, right? That's delivering, uh, narcotics and guns and stuff like that to make the bad guys um, more rich and the rich. And that's what ends up happening. He kicks the guy's asses. Again, this more has to deal with it's just taking a break from the current state of where the story is at and going back to the beginnings. Or this is kind of I would call so far the more definitive origin of Bruce and where possibly the idea of Batman came using bats as a symbol to use as a weapon to instill fear into others. You know what I mean? He explains too that now this is in court talking about the day at the zoo that this was literally like the most happiest day of his life. He knew that there was other days that were happy days, so to speak. Monday, Tuesday, happy day. But that was the pinnacle of the most happy he has been. He won a prize. He's the man of the hour. His pop, you tell his pops is proud of him, right? With his engineering skills and stuff, and he's just feeling like the man. You know what I mean? He just man, we at the zoo. We about to look at some cool animals, right? We about to laugh. We about to have fun. We about to eat them snacks at the zoo and all that, right? The Capri Suns and the fruit snacks all day. Let it flow. And then Joe Chill comes in being Joe Chill, man, and there's no real explanation on why he decided to go and shoot up the zoo at this point in time. Excuse me. All that is known is that that's what he's doing, and he the last thing he said to Joe Chill is I fucking hate you. I hope you hear me. And Joe Chill's just sitting there like, taking it. So, again, Bruce kind of learns, about finances, about working out, because he's trying to get his body into, we see him trying out early editions of the grappling gun, you know, the, the where you can climb up. And finally, we come to the big, to the big design here, what won him. And so, again, we're at a point now where, Bruce is just feeling really awesome about himself and just really wants, to have a good time here, you know what I mean? And he's at this annual dance for a better Gotham. And so they're at this annual, I just had to read real quick. They're at this Gotham, make Gotham better dance, right? And he's just observing these people because these are people part of the underworld, part of the corruption, part of the world he's trying to take down. And he says, he mentions how he remembers telling his dad that the bat was the only mammal that can fly as he, leaps off the building. I do like the bat suit because it's like of the homemade feel to it. And then finally, the last panel, so to speak, or the last pages, Joe Chill asking Bruce Wayne, now an adult, to come see him in prison so they can talk. And I guess in issue 5, we'll wrap up this story, find out what Joe Chill has to say, see if there's an explanation of why he did what he did. And was Bruce's father specifically targeted? Was it just a crime of opportunity? What would what would make a criminal think that you can rob a zoo? There's just too many exits, too many people, too large of a crowd and property to by yourself. So was it more of a hit? And why was it? If that was the case, why would someone do that to Bruce's father? We'll find all this out soon enough, I guess, in the next issue. But give me your theories down below. Don't forget how awesome and amazing you guys are each and every day of your life. Thank you for tuning in and staying tuned. And until next time, peace, Snookums.